Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bible study this week. It's great to be with all of you. We are going to be taking a look at Mark chapter 9, verses 2 to 9. And this week is the text, the story of the transfiguration of Jesus. It's getting us ready as we prepare to move ourselves into Lent. And so we're going to be taking some time and just kind of taking a look at the significance of this text and what it means for us. So this is Mark chapter 9, verses 2 to 9. 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John and led them up on a high mountain apart by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling white, such as no one on earth could bleach them. And there appeared to them Elijah with Moses, who were talking with Jesus. Then Peter said to Jesus, "Rabbi, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He did not know what to say, for they were terrified. Then a cloud overshadowed them, and from the cloud there came a voice, "This is my Son, the Beloved. Listen to him." Suddenly, when they looked around, they saw no one with them anymore, but only Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, he ordered them to tell no one about what they had seen. So this is a really interesting story, and for me, when I read this story, the first thing I think about is just how Peter, James, and John must have felt when they were experiencing this, when they were witnessing this with their very own eyes. It's curious to me that Peter says to Jesus, "Let's build 3 different huts, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah, so we can stay up here on this mountain." Obviously, Peter knew just how significant it was that they were experiencing what they were experiencing, and he wanted to memorialize that. He wanted to sort of to trap that moment in time and keep it there. But what's interesting is that rather than allowing Peter to do that, Jesus says to Peter, James, and John, "We need to go down off of the mountain." And interestingly enough, he says, "Come with me and tell no one what you have seen until the Son of Man has risen from the dead." And when I think about this passage, what it sort of recalls to me are those moments in our lives that are so impactful that we want to memorialize them. We want to keep those memories and the emotions and the experience. We want to keep that where it is, and we don't want to leave that time or that space. So I'm curious to hear from you what those moments were in your own life, to reflect on those times where they were so impactful for you that you wanted to just sort of memorialize them. Maybe it was the birth of a child. Maybe it was when you got married. It could be another significant relationship in your life, or maybe a career move or opportunity, buying a home, whatever those sort of things would be. Think about what that would be and share that with me. And then the other part of, I think, that's really important about this passage is the idea that we can only memorialize those moments or keep those emotions for so long. Ultimately, we need to come off of the mountain, right? We need to take that time and remember it and cherish it, but ultimately we take that with us. And it sort of recalls for me the sense when we have experienced these moments in our lives that are so impactful that it completely changes the course of our lives, that everything changes from that moment, and it changes all that we do. And so I'm curious to hear if you've had those moments. I'm assuming that we all have. Having those moments, what changed for you? What did you take with you as you went on with your life? How did you take that moment and cherish it? How did it shape your life the decisions that you made, the things that you did. And then the third question related to this as well, I think that what we're experiencing in the world today with this pandemic is one of those moments in our lives that completely changes things for us. And so I'm curious, what has changed for you in the midst of this pandemic? And as we, I hope, are getting to a point where we're all becoming vaccinated and we're getting to the point where we're able to kind of go back to doing some things that maybe we haven't been able to do for a little while. What are the things that you're going to take with you? What are those things that you've learned to cherish during this time, and how will those things that you take with you, how will they shape your life? How will you be doing things differently as a result of the experience that you've had with the pandemic? So those are the questions for today. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll just encourage you to go ahead and post your comments on YouTube. You can also respond on Facebook if you like, and we'll gather again next week as we get ready and move into the season of Lent. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great week.